This facility was started in 2017, but the family goes back a long ways. My father and uncle bought the farm from my grandfather in 1979. At that time we were milking about 110 cows. It was pieced together over 30 years. So, you know, wherever you could fit a barn, you put a barn. And so they're all different shapes, they're all different sizes, and so it's very inefficient. And so we knew if we wanted to be in the industry long term, we needed to do something different to be more efficient. And so that's kind of why we ended up with the robots is, you know, when you put in a rotary parlor, you have to fill it as fast as you can. And with the robots, you can kind of do it in phases. Granted, this was a big phase, but we were able to do it internally with our own cows. So currently we're milking about 4,800 cows on 3 different facilities. At this facility here, we're milking about 2,200 cows on 36 Lely A4 robots. Yeah, so labor has been a big issue here, and that's one of the reasons why we put into the robots. Labor's harder to find, hard to keep, it's costing you more, and nobody wants to milk cows anymore. And that's why the robots have been such a benefit, is because it takes the milking process out of the equation. And it's kind of funny, when we started here in the robots, we asked all of our milkers, long-term milkers, whether they wanted to come over here, and they really didn't, which was kind of surprising. But I had one, and we asked him about 2 months in what he thought about the job here, and he said, easy money. And so that just goes to show that the employees that are available like the types of jobs that in the robot barn compared to a conventional milking parlor. So to get the cows milked, we have 6 guys. We've got 3 fetchers during the day and 3 fetchers during the night. We have 2 veterinarians on staff that take care of all the animals. So the robots are sorting out automatically any cows that the vets need to see on a daily basis. And we have 2 mechanics during the day. We've got 1 night manager, and so a total of, see, that'll be 9 guys taking care of 2,200 cows. If we compare to our conventional dairy, we've got 9 guys just getting cows milked in our conventional dairy versus 6 guys here, and we're milking about 400 more cows here than our conventional dairy. So the amount of data you get through the robots is phenomenal. There's just so much data, and I'm kind of a self-proclaimed data junkie. So whenever I have the time, I like to sift through it and analyze it, and just you know, try to learn the data that you're giving to see where it can apply to make better decisions. So you know, the amount of data we get allows us to care for a larger number of cows better than what we could 20, 30 years ago on a small scale, or less cows. So we can take better care of our cows now than what we could 20 years ago. So we have been genetic testing for 7 years, and we really believe in the data because the information you can get off the robots, it can prove to you that the indexes that you're selecting for are working. So when you compare milk production genomically based on actual milk, the variance is huge. So the cows that genomics is telling you is going to produce more milk are producing a lot more milk than the cows that genomically are saying they're not going to produce as much milk. So once you start believing in that information, we've chosen the Dairy Wellness Profit Index because it includes health traits, and we want cows that are going to come into the herd and you just don't see them because they never get sick. It was dumb luck, but when we first started in the robots, the heifers that were calving were raised in individual hutches, and we struggled early on getting them to adapt to the robots. And about 2 months later, we started calving the first calves that were raised in the auto feeders, and they adapted to the robots so much faster. And it's really interesting that the way we manage the auto feeders as calves is real similar to the way we're managing the cows and the robots, and so I think that's really neat.
So the goal of group housing is to make sure transitions are easier on the calves. I don't want to stress them out, but by living in a community day one, they transition better. And this environment is so similar to the robots that we have across the street that they're learning early how to make choices, to come into the auto feeder whenever they want to lay when they want to play when they want to. And that's so similar to the robots across the street. At this facility, we have an opportunity to not only reduce labor, but we're hiring more skilled labor. Skilled labor to be able to read, skilled labor to be able to say what is wrong with that calf, and we get to spend more time with the calves rather than just bottle feeding. I hire high school kids after school to feed the calves. It's such an opportunity to be able to come onto a farm. There's not a lot out there anymore. And I want to be exposing them to behaviors and how to work with the animals in the best way they can. And then future, they could potentially be one of my workers. So I love that opportunity to be training young kids.
Consumers want that story, where their milk is coming from, and the farms that can produce that story are going to succeed. You know, my advice to other large dairymen that would be looking at robots is that it works. You still have to manage your cows. You have to change the way you manage your cows, but the cows really love it, and it's the future of dairy, and it's the only way to dairy.